Nah, this is my first big tornado like this. Like, we've had tornadoes, but nothing hit a town like this.
And Kansans cleaning up today after a tornado outbreak stretched last night from Kiowa County to Sherman County. And that's where we'll begin this morning. It's a Cake First Alert weather day. As parts of Cakeland saw severe storms and tornadoes last night, many are waking up to damage after two separate tornadoes touched down in Gove and Reno counties. So far, there's no word of any injuries, but hundreds are without power. Meteorologist Hannah Dennis is here with a look at the forecast. Hannah, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Unfortunately, we're still not out of the woods just yet. We are going to see another round of severe storms later today. However, some of those counties that were hit hard yesterday are not going to be hit as hard today, which is some good news. It's going to kind of help them clean up a little bit. So let's take a look at the past 12 hours. If you take a look as we are going earlier into that night, that we have that storm that popped up and kind of moved across. It was really persistent. It continued to spin up tornadoes, causing a lot of damage across several counties last night. Once that was out of here, we were kind of calm for the rest of the night. But like I said, we have more storms on the way. Taking a look outside of Salina right now, they are seeing those partly cloudy skies sitting at 78 degrees. They are fairly warm compared to much of the state. Those temperatures across the rest of the state, we have a lot of 60s, some 70s, but you can kind of see this surge of warmth kind of just straight up the central portion of the state here with those 70s and 80s. Taking a look at those high temperatures, you can kind of see that's where those warmer temperatures are going to be, mid to upper 80s, those 70s more mainly towards the west. But with those severe storms coming up, I'll give you a more breakdown of the timing of those storms and what you can expect for this round coming up soon.
All right, thank you, Hannah. In Reno County, the town of Plevna took a direct hit from a tornado. This is drone video sent from our Cake First Alert storm tracker, Brad Ketchum, of the damage in Plevna. As you can see, some homes completely destroyed. What's interesting is others completely untouched. But for the most part, all of the homes in town from this drone footage that we're seeing destroyed just looks like a pile of sticks and debris left over. This looks like maybe a storage unit or a semi. Looking there at this house, the roof completely torn off, leaving behind just a pile of things. Of course, all the items from inside the house are now out in the yard, of leaving people with where do we even start to pick up. Now, Plevna only has about 85 people in the town at last census, and Reno County officials tell us there are no injuries and no deaths after the storm. We'll take a look at video from the ground in Plevna. Houses are destroyed and families, of course, still trying to pick up the pieces this morning. We spoke to one family who lives a couple miles southwest of town, who says they rushed into their basement before the storm and hid behind a fireplace while the storm passed. We heard from their neighbor this morning about what he heard and went through.
About 12, it came through. I could hear the whistling. I didn't hear the train sound, but I did hear a lot of whistling and cracking of limbs and different things like that, but didn't last too long. And then went outside to kind of see how bad it was. Didn't take much to see.
Cake's Jack Cooper has finally been allowed into town and will bring us a live report at the bottom of the hour. And we hear from that family who huddled in their basement to survive the storm. Meanwhile, people in Gove County are cleaning up debris. The town of Grinnell was hit by one of those tornadoes. Cake's Pilar Pedraza is there with a look.
We just spoke with the Gove County Sheriff, and he says that they're working hard here in Grinnell to get that cleanup well underway. They're talking about things like a nearby temporary dump so that they don't have to drag things all the way to the other end of the county until they've got it all cleaned up here in town. But there are some things that are kind of holding the process up, and this is part of it. The number of downed power lines in the area. They've got roads closed still, including parts of the interstate and several surrounding highways. It's making it difficult getting in and out of town because of where power lines are down. And they're trying to work around that. Even as they're working to get that cleanup underway, they're still processing what led up to all of this damage and what they went through last night, from the technical problems they had, like one of the sirens going down, to simply the short amount of warning that they had and not being able to see that tornado coming, just having a radar warning. And also just their amazement at the damage pattern throughout town.
What was cool about the Catholic Church, the roof was ripped off, but the candles were still burning. It's amazing how that happened.
The sheriff also talked about how you could have one house that was destroyed and the house next door seemingly untouched. There was even one house, he said, where half of the house was destroyed and the other half was perfectly fine. This is what they are dealing with out in Grinnell right now. They are expecting the National Weather Service out here around noon to begin the damage survey to determine just how strong this tornado was. From Grinnell, Pilar Pedraza, Cake News on your side.
To keep an eye on the weather no matter where you are, make sure to download our Cake First Alert weather app. It has live radar, push alerts, and of course the forecast to keep you and your family safe. You can find it wherever you get your apps at.